City of stars, are you shining just for me? City of stars, there's so much that I can't see. City of stars, I didn't mean to do a third thing, but something compels me. City of stars, I think I'm stuck like this as you can see. City of stars, could you please take over the intro for me?
Hello, hi, welcome. The show's name is Politics. Although, I call it Politrix.
You've never called that. You've called it in your life.
And
I mean, City of stars, you've never called that in your life.
and the title of this episode is Dream Scenario. My name is City of Stars.
Yeah, and City of stars, my name is Fresh. So you weren't here last week. Well, I was going to say, what are you up to? But we actually covered this in our commentary for this week, which we recorded last week.
Yes.
But anyway, tell the, main feed audience what you're up to.
I don't even remember. I think
You
I
were
was
with your
just-
friends and you went to somebody's wedding. Fucking hell.
No, that was... Oh. No, that was like 2 weeks ago.
When you were supposed to record.
Okay, anyway. I went to my friend's wedding. We partied. We had a good time. And yeah, that was really about it, I would say.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Was it worth skipping the episode?
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely.
Fair enough. You caught me there. So, clean up from last week. I said Pete Buttigieg worked at a think tank when he got out of college. I made a big mistake. He actually worked for an exclusive consultancy firm named McKinsey & Company,
Oh, McKinsey.
which they do a very similar... I don't want to say that. McKinsey is a lobbying company.
Mm.
So, names... Okay, if the government wants to put in buses,
Yes.
the car companies will hire McKinsey & Company to, lobby politicians to not make that bus. Or what did I say?
If they want to buy buses.
What did I say? Was it public transport or buses?
Public transport.
Alright, yes. Just public transport in general.
Okay.
The government announces plans to increase public transport.
Right.
The car companies would get a lobbyist like McKinsey & Company to lobby on behalf of them to get the politicians to not implement that so that they can sell more cars.
Right, I see.
You get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, essentially one of the most evil evil things that you can do, lobbying on behalf of the corporations.
Yeah.
Anyway, can we get to the news of the week?
Yeah, sure.
So I don't think we've ever spoken about load shedding.
No.
We've mentioned it, on the Oppenheimer episode.
Mm.
But to explain to our international listeners, due to our ruling party's incompetence and corruption, our state electrical provider, ESCOM, sometimes, and when I say sometimes, I mean most of the time, does not have the capacity required to provide the amount of electricity the country needs.
Mhm.
Right? Therefore, they implement planned blackouts to ease the strain on the grid. If you believe in conspiratorial thinking, as I do, then it's not that they're incompetent. ESCOM is being deliberately sabotaged so it can be sold off to private interests.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, okay. I see.
That being said,
Yeah.
it's very likely that they're just incompetent.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know. You have to believe people are in charge.
Yeah.
You know, that there's not just a bunch of idiots running around, that this is a conspiracy. I think that makes me feel better. Right? Frankly, either way, it's a disgrace.
Yeah.
And I don't talk about it too much because it's exhausting.
That is true.
And every single person wants to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah.
speaking about somebody and they'll complain about
Load shedding.
load shedding. Then you'll go to the next person, they'll complain. And it's, sometimes you just need to just talk
a
about
break.
other stuff, It's too bleak, it's too, energy sapping to complain.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't mind commenting when a new story comes up.
Mm.
So, our Energy Minister, Josencio Ramajopa, has announced plans to procure an additional 2,500 megawatts of nuclear power capacity.
Yes.
saying that it's cheaper than solar and wind power,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Professor
Mark Swilling from Stellenbosch has pushed back on this, saying that the minister has not factored in construction and financing costs. All right. Basically, we have one nuclear power station that produces at a certain cost.
Yes.
And the minister is looking at that figure. But if we were to make use of this additional 2,500, we would need to build another station. And the minister is either deliberately or mistakenly not taking this into consideration. Right?
Okay.
So we need another
Yes.
another one, right? In addition to this, the nuclear power plant would only become operational in 10 years at minimum. So, so for the problem we're having now, we'll implement something in at minimum 10 years. I read that it's more realistic that it's close to 15.
Oh my goodness.
So,
That's even worse.
The professor also said that 2,500 is not a large amount in the grand scheme of things. And that this is a huge waste, both because of the cost and the danger to the environment, as opposed to renewable energy. So his point was that renewables produce far more energy than the 2,500.
Yeah.
And they cost less.
Yeah. They cost less to build.
Yes. But even if it didn't, I would say we should invest more in renewables just because it's better for the environment.
Yeah.
Even if it was more expensive. But, yeah. Once again, this is either just blatant corruption or, I mean, it definitely is blatant corruption. But
that is the most likely scenario, yes.
A lot of ANC people have been saying that Jacob Zuma proposed this in like 2012, I think. Very, very early on.
Okay.
So, apparently, we're getting this from Russia.
Oh, we're getting the nuclear...
Yes.
All the stuff.
Nuclear material to, create nuclear power from Russia. And so, I don't think this is proven. This is just another conspiracy I read, but one I don't 100% believe that there was a deal in place with Zuma.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we mine uranium as well. So why would we not just use that?
Oh, brother in Christ, I have no idea. I'm reading the news.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
This what were we just saying? I just looked out the window.
The deal with Russia.
Yes. So the theory is that there was an existing deal with Zuma.
Yes.
But due to him resigning, they couldn't implement that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But now, our energy minister is following through on that deal.
Yes.
That being said, this was proposed by a DA person.
Oh.
And they kind of think that they're American, right?
Okay.
So, do you know in 2016 with the quote-unquote election hacking?
Yes.
The liberals in America began to blame everything on Russia.
Yeah.
If they stubbed their toe on the on the side, off the steps or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, Russia, Putin. Right. So now in Cape Town, the DA, they believe themselves to be Americans.
Right.
And if you read any news stories from Cape Town, they're constantly like, Russian interference did this, Russians did this, Russians did that, right? So this could just be an extension of their paranoia that, Russia's behind everything in the world.
Yes.
So I don't want to say, okay, this is fact, but I just want to throw that out there, in terms of, just so everyone knows that's a possibility.
Yes, I see. Right.
So, do you have any other comment or can we move on?
We can move on.
Okay, I have more comment. In our Oppenheimer episode, which is probably one of the only times we've mentioned it, you were talking about some cable, something that had low resistance.
Yes.
Right?
The superconductor.
Because
the room temperature. Yeah.
Yes, and then you said it'll solve load shedding.
Yes.
And I just kind of said, oh, and then moved on. Because I don't believe this is a technological problem. Every country in the world has the ability to provide energy, right?
Yes.
It's not a technological problem, it's a political problem.
Right, I see.
So that's why when you were mentioning that, I was just like, all right. I was hoping that, the thing you were talking about would be like, I actually mentioned in that episode, like, will it allow me to go to space?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Yes, no, maybe. Check the answer on this piece of paper I've handed you. And yes. But anyway, like I said, it's a disgrace. But let's just move on.
Okay.
Former President Jacob Zuma, also in the news this week, right? He has left the ANC saying, I have decided, quote, I have decided that I cannot and will not campaign for the ANC of Ramaphosa in 2024. My conscience will not allow me to lie to the people of South Africa and to pretend that the ANC of Ramaphosa is the ANC of Luthuli, Tambo, and Mandela, said Zuma. And so that's the end of the quote.
Okay.
And I believe that this is 100% true.
Okay.
But it's also proof that hypocrisy is not an argument. Do you remember I've said this before? Where it's like, if Jeff Bezos had to come out and say, workers are entitled to all that they provide. Produce. Right?
Right.
You'd be like, God damn it, Jeff, you're right. But you're a huge hypocrite because you're extracting all that wealth from your workers, right?
Right.
So hypocrisy is not an argument as to whether something is right or wrong.
Yes.
Similarly, this guy's the reason why the ANC is not the party of Luthuli, Tambo, and Mandela anymore. Right?
Yeah.
It's like the culprit is like, damn. It's like a guy robs a store. And he comes back, he's like, wow, crime in this area, it's fucked up, dude. It's like, you the one who did this. Right? By the way, Ramaphosa was his vice president. I don't know if our international listeners know that. This was his man. This was his man. Although you could argue that they represent different factions of the party.
Yeah.
And that was like a compromise to having him. But like optically, it still looks wild that his vice president got into power and he's like, yo, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yes, so I 100% agree with our previous president.
Yes.
The ANC of Ramaphosa is not the ANC of Luthuli, Tambo, and Mandela.
Yeah. It's the ANC of Ramaphosa.
Yes, and Zuma to an extent.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is actually huge news, right? Because quite a large portion of the ANC are still Zuma supporters, even though he hasn't, been in power for years.
Yeah.
So this could be quite substantial.
Especially with elections coming up.
Yes, 2024.
Yeah.
But that's years away.
That's like
Oh no,
2 weeks away.
I'm checking my calendar. Oh no. So our next story of the week, and this comes from the Hollywood Reporter by a story by Aaron Couch and Boris Kitt, and that's Kitt spelled like a football kit, like. Which I just thought that was a little bit of fun, right?
But their surnames are objects of sorts.
Yeah, a couch and a kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I do on Sunday afternoons. I sit on my couch with my full Liverpool. I'm a full kit wanker. I put on the shorts. I put on my boots to watch Liverpool play. Anyway, quote. On December 18, a Manhattan jury found Jonathan Majors guilty of reckless assault in the third degree and guilty of harassment following a 2-week trial that stemmed from a March incident between the actor and his ex-partner, Grace Jabari. In the wake of his legal troubles, PR firm The Lead Company and his managers at Entertainment 360 dropped the actor. He is still repped by WME, but that could change in light of the verdict. In addition to this, Marvel has fired Majors as Kang the Conqueror. Thoughts on this?
I feel like we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Considering we did the replacement segments like 2 weeks ago.
Very poorly done.
Yeah.
But it was just speculation then,
and
it's concrete now. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Do you have any comment?
Not really. I think all the comment that I've had has been said.
Yeah, in previous episodes.
Yeah.
So we mentioned this like in the episode after Ant-Man. Like that's how quickly it came out. Like
Yeah.
But he, so I don't know when it was, because I believe like almost out the gate we were like, he did that shit.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was exactly that did that. But the one that stuck in my mind is that video of him breaking up the fight between the two girls, which was such an obviously fake, a fraudulent video if I've ever seen one, bro. It's okay, so if you haven't seen it, right? It's somebody and there's two girls with their hands up as if they're about to fight. And they're like kind of circling each other, and then like a black car pulls up. Jonathan Lee just jumps out.
Just randomly. He happens to be there.
In an already shooting video. He jumps out of the car. He holds them to the side like he's Gandhi. Or like, you know, he's like some peace figure that's come forward and like...
Gandhi.
Well, he's a peace figure, right? You know, like, I was trying to think, maybe like Jesus, I don't know, somebody who represents peace, right? He put his hands to the side. And it's like, this is the most staged thing I've ever seen in my life. This man is guilty as shit. I've never seen somebody more guilty. Seriously, if you haven't seen it, go watch that video. It's hilarious, bro. But this is a very serious story. I'm glad that his partner got the justice that she deserved.
Yes.
And yeah, this guy threw away one of the biggest bags I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He was going to be the new Thanos.
Yeah.
He fucked it up. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's bleak. Well, bleak in terms of money.
Yeah.
But it's good that justice was served.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. So, next story. I'm getting this from PBS.
Okay.
It didn't have an author.
Okay.
I can't remember if it said author, staff writer or something else. But there wasn't a name, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Quote, Elon Musk has restored the X account of conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, pointing to a poll on social media platform formerly known as Twitter that came out in favor of the InfoWars host, who repeatedly called the 2012 Sandy Hook school shooting a hoax. It poses new uncertainty for advertisers who have fled X over concerns about hate speech appearing alongside their ads, and is the latest divisive public personality to get back their banned account. Musk posted a poll on Saturday asking if Jones should be reinstated, with the results showing 70% of those who responded in favor. Early Sunday, Musk tweeted, "The people have spoken, and so it shall be." A few hours later, Jones's posts were visible again, and he retweeted a post about his video game.
He has a video game?
Yes. The thing is, I don't think you're familiar with the Alex Jones brand, right? I listened to a podcast called Knowledge Fight.
Yeah.
Which is a show dedicated to exposing his bullshit.
Yeah.
Which it's incredible, right? They already did an episode on this, and it was chef's kiss. It was amazing, right? He and InfoWars show have been permanently banned in 2018 for abusive behavior. It is a major turnaround for Musk, who previously said he wouldn't let Jones back on his platform despite repeated calls to do so. Last year, Musk pointed to the death of his firstborn child and tweeted, "I have no mercy for anyone who would use the deaths of children for gain, politics, or fame." Right? So, that's the end of the news story. I mean, from PBS.
Okay.
So, this is me now, me speaking.
Right.
Before we speak about Alex Jones, I would just like to point something out about that article.
Okay.
The part where it says, quote, "Last year, Musk pointed to the death of his firstborn child." Right?
Yes.
The story he told was that his child died in his arms, which was a lie. The child died in his ex-wife's arms.
Okay.
And he's corroborated that story previously.
Okay.
And now he changed the story to the child died in his arms.
Yeah.
Right? Which was a lie.
Yeah.
Right? In the same sentence, he denounced Alex Jones for using children's deaths for gain. He himself was using the death of his own child to gain sympathy. It's
Oh, goodness.
He's one of the biggest dipshits on earth, bro. But anyway, so they do a Twitter space.
Yes.
Alex Jones, where he's just kind of having a victory lap. And right-wingers are just, jumping in. And Elon Musk jumps into that Twitter space.
Right.
And he asks Alex, like, "Can you explain how, what happened.
Yeah.
And Alex Jones gives this bullshit story, which he's done many, many times before.
Okay.
He gave the story when he was in court, and it didn't work. But he still says it. So he says that the media demonized him and made the public believe that he's the one who actually did the Sandy Hook shooting.
Oh.
Nobody believes that. It's just a thing that is made up, right?
Okay. Yeah.
What he did do was call into question whether it happened or not.
Yes.
And his audience harassed the parents of the kids who died.
That's insane.
That's what he's being accused of, not that he's the one who literally did the shootings, right? So what he does is he changes the argument.
Right.
So he obfuscates what he actually did, and then people will be like, "Oh wow, he didn't actually do that."
Yeah.
But he did something else that's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
So Alex Jones is obviously full of shit. So fuck him. He should not be on Twitter to, do that again.
Yeah.
Very disgusting.
Yeah.
So yes, two dipshits. Musk and Alex Jones. But again, back to the thing. A few weeks ago, we had that story about Elon Musk saying advertisers are pulling out.
Yeah.
Once again, why would you advertise on a platform, on a place that platforms Alex Jones, who, what I just said about harassing parents?
Yeah. I don't understand.
If I'm an advertiser, I would not want to advertise on that platform.
Yeah.
How can this idiot say they're blackmailing me by not advertising on my platform? It's obviously people are upset about this, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
He's making the decisions.
Yes.
And then going, oh, why aren't they advertising here?
Yes. Oh, the consequences of my actions. What the hell? Why? Anyway. There's one last thing I wanted to say. Okay. Alex Jones.
Yeah.
If he weren't such an evil person,
yes,
he's genuinely one of the greatest entertainers to ever live. On Knowledge Fight, they'll play clips of him.
Yes.
And he is the funniest fucking person I've ever heard, bro. But the problem is that he, all his right-wing conspiracies, etc. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
So this comes from a story in Variety by Ethan Shanfeld.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Shanfield or Felt. It's F-E-L-D.
Sounds like Shanfeld.
Yeah, but whatever. Quote, Benny Safdie has set his solo directorial debut on The Smashing Machine, an A24 feature film starring Dwayne Johnson as MMA and UFC champion Mark Kerr. So, first of all, do you know who Benny Safdie is?
Someone who directed, but in groups.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. I'm taking that as a win.
He's one of the Safdie brothers.
Oh.
Josh and Betty, they made a few very, very good movies with A24.
Oh, okay.
The first being Good Time. Have you heard of that?
No.
It stars Robert Pattinson in a Oscar-worthy role.
Oh.
I don't know if he would have won that year. I don't have my Oscar spreadsheet in front of me, but he was very good in that role. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Yeah.
The other one they made was Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler.
Yes.
Have you heard or seen that?
I've heard of it.
It's a very good movie as well.
Okay.
Love the Sandman, and they got the best out of him.
Yeah.
Now this is where you may know him from. Do you know in Oppenheimer?
Yes.
There's a Russian scientist.
Yes.
He is played by Benny Safdie.
Oh.
So he's both the actor and director.
Okay.
He was a character in Good Time.
Right.
He played the mentally ill brother of Robert Pattinson in that movie.
Oh, okay.
But yes, he's also currently in The Curse with Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone, which I've been speaking about.
Yeah.
He is so good in that. But yes, so this is his solo directorial debut.
Okay.
And we've been speaking about The Rock for quite a while now, that his choice of projects are dog shit. I can't remember. And maybe a few weeks after we spoke about it, do you know who Patrick Willems is?
No.
So he's a YouTube video essayist.
Okay.
He makes video essays. And
Right. Makes sense. Yeah. Cool.
This might be interesting to you.
Yes.
He just made a video about Days of Thunder.
Oh.
Do you know what that is?
It's a World War II movie, I think.
No.
Damn. Well,
It's-
that's right.
It's a Tom Cruise movie
Okay.
about him being a racing car driver,
Oh.
directed by Tony Scott, which is,
I need to watch this movie.
it's the team behind Top Gun.
Yeah.
And when I say the team, I just mean the actor and the director. I don't know about the production cost, but yes, I haven't seen it either. But
It was actually everything was done at the same time.
it's apparently very bad.
Oh.
Patrick, I haven't seen his video, but the title is "How One Movie Ruined the Entire 80s." And it's a picture of Tom Cruise in Days of Thunder. So, yeah, not looking good. But I do want to watch it though. Right?
Yes.
Why were we mentioning Days of Thunder?
No.
Patrick Willems.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So Patrick
Right.
Willems made like a 1 hour video about The Rock
Right.
and how he chooses his roles so poorly. And again, did he steal it from us? Definitely not. But
You can't prove that.
Yes. Can I use that on social media to instigate some sort of beef? I'm hoping so.
We need this.
Yes. we need the attention, right? But anyway, per A24, the film marks The Rock's move into his most dramatic project and role yet. The
Okay.
movie's logline reads, "The Smashing Machine is a drama based on the story of Mark Kerr, the legendary MMA fighter with a no-holds-barred era of the UFC at the peak of his career. He struggles with addiction, winning, love, and friendship in the year 2000.
Okay.
So, yeah, like I said, I think The Rock has talent.
Yes.
Well, he wouldn't be there if he didn't have some sort of talent.
Yeah.
I just think he's wasting it.
Yeah.
I think I was speaking about John Cena in the freelance episode where I
Yeah.
said you can go one of two ways.
Yeah.
You can go the way of Dave Bautista, who chooses, excellent
More
directors,
carefully.
excellent directors to work with, and they give him like meaty roles that he can, showcase his talents.
Yeah.
As opposed to The Rock, who like looks for a brand to attach himself to.
Mm.
I feel that this is, The Rock taking that other path now.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy about this.
Yeah.
Because he's shown signs like, I don't think you know about this, but Southland Tales.
No, I have no idea what that is.
It's directed by a guy named Richard Kelly. He has a fascinating filmography, right?
Okay.
He made Donnie Darko.
Okay.
But Donnie Darko requires a website to understand it.
Right.
But this was in the early 2000s, right?
Okay.
So this was very novel at the time.
Yeah.
But Southland Tales, the first 4 chapters are a comic.
Okay.
And the movie starts with chapter 5.
Right.
So again, very bizarre.
Yeah.
He's just a bizarre filmmaker.
Okay.
And The Rock was in Southland Tales in 2006.
Okay.
Very early on in his career. And he's not playing the conventional The Rock TM character that he does in most movies. Southland Tales, even though it's a bit bizarre, that's him being like, showcasing his range.
Dramaticness.
Yes, that and Pain and Gain. Have you seen that?
I've heard of that.
It's a Michael Bay movie where these 3 like bodybuilders,
Yeah.
they get caught up in like a ransom situation, right?
Okay.
And that's probably his best role.
Okay.
But
Is he one of the bodybuilders?
no, he's actually he's the guy who dies. Yeah. But he was bigger than all the bodybuilders. I don't know how he got that big. He's probably like a strong swimmer or something.
A really strong swimmer.
Anyway, do you have any comment?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he'll do in a more dramatic role. But on the other hand, I don't know, because it could just be terrible, and then he'll go back to playing The Rock TM in all the like jungle movies.
Yeah.
In that same beige
Yes.
jumpsuit thing.
Jungle Cruise, the two Jumanjis, and there's another one.
Red Notice.
Was he in the jungle in Red Notice?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can't remember. But carry on.
But yeah, I'm hoping it works out for him, and then he becomes more kind of discerning.
The mountain.
Yeah.
He takes the next step.
Straight from a rock to a mountain.
Well, what's bigger than a rock, but smaller than a mountain?
A boulder.
I don't know. I think I view a rock as bigger than a boulder.
Really?
Anyway,
Okay, yeah.
I was going to say maybe the hill. He's the hill, right? He is becoming the hill.
Yeah.
And then when he works with like a Scorsese, he'll become the mountain, the mountain who rides. Right? So are we done here?
Yeah.
Speaking of A24, this is the context for the movie Dream Scenario.
Oh,
Right.
segue.
It's produced and distributed by them. This is the third A24 movie covered on the pod after Talk to the Hand and Beau is Afraid.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, this movie reminded me a lot of an Ari Aster movie.
I wonder why.
Yes. And when the credits rolled, I saw produced by Lars Knudsen,
Yes.
who was Ari Aster's producing partner. And I thought, oh my god, this makes so much sense.
Mm.
And then the literal next card flipped and it said executive produced by Ari Aster. And I thought, oh my god, the gang's all here. Right. So this movie was made by the Norwegian satirist Christopher Borgli. Again, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Borgli.
Borgli.
Is it Borgli or is it Borgli? You know, I apologize if I pronounce it wrong. Right. So I checked his IMDb and he has a lot of short films and only 2 previous movies.
Okay.
The first is about an energy drink and it's called Drib.
Mm.
And the second is called Sick of Myself.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I haven't seen either of those films, but I'm currently trying to find a way to watch those films because, spoiler alert, I love this movie and I want to see, what else this guy has done.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, like I just said, I haven't seen it, but I'm led to believe that Sick of Myself is about a story about somebody seeking fame, and they do something fucked up to seek that fame.
Right.
All right, put a pin in that. We'll get back to that, right?
Okay.
And the next bit of context is that the core idea of this movie is based on a mid-2000s meme. And I'm going to be reading this from thisman.org.
Okay.
Quote, in January 2006 in New York, the patient of a well-known psychiatrist draws the face of a man that has been repeatedly appearing in her dreams. In more than one occasion, that man has given her advice on her private life. The woman swears she has never met the man in her life. That portrait lies forgotten on the psychiatrist's desk for a few days until one day another patient recognizes that face and says that the man has often visited him in his dreams. He also claims that he has never seen that man in his waking life. The psychiatrist decides to send the portrait to some of his colleagues that have patients with recurrent dreams. Within a few months, 4 patients recognize the man as a frequent presence in their own dreams. All the patients refer to him as this man. From January 2006 until today, so I don't know when that article was written. It seemed to be written in the late 2000s.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
At least 2,000 and then 2,000 scratched out and it says 8,000 people. So again, I have no idea how many it will be to this day.
Right.
Right? People have claimed that they have seen this man in their dreams in many cities all over the world. Los Angeles, Berlin, Sao Paulo, Tehran, Beijing, Rome, Barcelona, Stockholm, Paris, New Delhi, Moscow, etc.
Okay.
So truly all around the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Everywhere.
At the moment, there is no ascertained relation or common trait among the people that have dreamed of seeing this man. Moreover, no living man has ever been recognized as resembling the man of the portrait by the people who have seen this man in their dreams.
Huh.
The aim of this website is, to help those who have seen this man in their dreams and to foster communication among them. To understand who this man is and why he appears in an apparently patternless array of situations in the dreams of such diverse human subjects. So,
I kind of want to visit this website now.
yeah. Look, it's like done in HTML and like it's gray and like very poorly done. Like even though like I know this happened after 2006 because obviously
yeah, it has to have.
Yes. It feels like a 90s website, bro. If we could like take that and put it in a new like reader or something, that'd be great. Yeah, so thisman.org if you want to search it up.
Okay.
So yes, that's all the context I have for the movie. Do you have anything you want to say leading into it?
I love Nicolas Cage, and that's really about it.
There's one thing I forgot.
Yeah.
Why was I singing City of Stars at the beginning?
I don't know.
So I went to a new theater. Well, it's not new. It's probably been there for like 15 years.
It's new to you.
I've only been there one time before.
Okay.
I went with my friend and we watched La La Land.
Oh.
And that song is from La La Land. Right?
Yeah, okay.
It's also a Cinema Nouveau.
Oh.
But it's not in Rosebank. It's much closer.
Right.
So this is the issue. When
Yes.
we were going to watch Beau's Afraid,
Yes.
I went on the website and I saw Bedford Square, which is the place where it is, right?
Yeah, right.
And I clicked there and they didn't have any showings.
Okay.
So I went to Rosebank, which is the next nearest place.
Right.
And for whatever reason, I've just been going to Rosebank. But I never went back to to see if any of the independent movies were playing at Bedford Square. Now that I know that, I'm just going to go there all the time because it's been a pain to drive to Rosebank, which is quite far.
Yeah, that is true.
This is much much better, right? And I
Okay.
actually thought like I wish I lived here in
This area.
Yeah, this area because so Eastgate is down the road.
Yes.
Eastgate they have the IMAX,
Yes.
and this place has the Nouveau.
Yeah.
So like if I lived like in between those places, it would be so ideal. Yes, because I'm definitely spoiler alert. I'm gonna be watching Aquaman 2 in IMAX.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be going to Eastgate for that. But
Nice.
yeah, so like I said, if I was in the area, it would be so much. So much
Listener,
better.
if you're in the area, go catch Presh at Aquaman 2
Oh
in
no!
IMAX.
I'm putting a target on my back. What if I get assassinated? I'm gonna cut this out in the edit. Or at least like bleep over it. Anyway, so my thoughts on the movie.
Okay.
First of all, this is what girls do.
Yes.
Right? They have a dream, and in the dream you do something bad, and they get upset with you in real life. It's like, bro, that was not me. This is your deranged mind projecting. But anyway, so I think this movie works on 3 levels.
Okay.
And I'd like to discuss it level by level, but first I'd like to give some general thoughts.
Okay.
That independent of the levels.
Okay.
So I think this movie was terrifically acted.
Okay.
I have Nicolas Cage down as my current favorite for Best Actor, the Best Actor Oscar.
Okay.
Obviously, the standout is that scene where he's making the very self-serving video. But aside from that, he does some very good character work. So these random things where he goes, "A check, please," that just worked for me. That's because that's something I would do. Like, okay, I know you don't know this, but I used to watch David Letterman.
Oh.
When I was a child.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
Talk show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He was a talk show host, and he would do these, stuff like that, where, like, he would hold the side of his body when he made a joke, and it's not clear why he would do that, right?
Just like.
Yes.
Huh.
But on the side, his hand was on. Yes, you reached across. You put your left hand on your right side.
Yes.
Whatever side is like his left hand was right hand. In hindsight, I'm realizing the joke is that he laughed so hard that there's a stitch there.
Oh.
So you're holding yourself there.
Oh.
But, like, there's a lot of those stuff where it's like he's clearly doing old style comedy stuff that
Yeah.
and if you don't have that, what's the word, grounding in like older comedy, doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So like, check please, that's a very like old and he even explains it that it's like a situation where you're uncomfortable, so you ask for the check.
Yeah.
Because yeah. But yes, that just really worked for me. That gave me a huge laugh. There's been a few movies this year where I burst out into laughter and the rest of the theater is very quiet. Because there were only 2 people in the theater with me and they didn't make a sound the whole movie and I was bursting into laughter. I was making so much noise.
I was in a theater by myself.
Yes. Again, this is a very... it's an independent movie.
Yeah.
And you went very early in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's... Even when... So, I've mentioned this many times, but I work from home, which allows me to go to day screenings. But I don't go to the early screenings. I go to like 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Like that. You went at 9 o'clock in the morning. Fuck me. I wasn't even awake. Oh, this is the thing. I wake up at like 6 a.m.
Yes.
Then I'll go back to sleep and I'll wake up at 10.
Right.
So people always get upset with me. They'll send a message at like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And be like, no, but you were awake. I saw your last scene was like at 6 a.m. And I'm like, no. I went back to bed.
You sent me a message at like 7.
Yes.
And then I sent you like 7 in a row and you didn't reply until I was in the theater.
Yeah. Anyway, the last bit of context.
Yeah.
Actually, we already got into the movie. Sorry to go back. When I sat down, I dropped my popcorn. Like 1/3 of the bag just fucking fell all over the floor, bro. So
No.
I was very upset.
Oh,
And I don't know if that colored my viewing of this movie
okay.
in any way.
Right.
But, so this is the problem now. You know the salt that you put in the popcorn?
Yeah.
Is out of whack now because the third of the popcorn is missing.
The ratio's
Yes, the
not
ratio is fucked.
Yeah.
Yes. So, if there's any negative things that I say, it could be stemming from that. I wanted to say that, right?
Right.
So back to the acting.
Okay.
And I was saying another specific person I loved was Michael Cera.
Yeah.
I feel like he's usually playing some variation of his character on Arrested Development. Little, what is his name? George Michael. Or is it?
George Michael.
Yes. Have you never seen Arrested Development?
No.
So his dad is Michael.
Okay.
Fuck, I can't remember.
Michael.
No. I can't remember what the joke is right now, but like he tried to go by Boy George one time. So he's George Michael.
Right.
Like the singer.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
Yes. But he anyway, most of the roles he plays in movies are just some variation on that character.
Okay.
And I felt this was very fresh, very new, and I also thought everyone else was very solid and, bounced off Nicolas Cage very well.
Yeah.
So, yes, very well acted movie.
Yeah.
And the next thing is, in the context section, I said that this movie gives me Ari Aster vibes. Unfortunately, it's not as well shot as an Ari Aster movie, but it's still quite excellent.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the, shot composition, the framing, the color palette being used. It's like a very autumn kind of... Autumn going into winter. And, he's always wearing those giant fucking coats. Which, that should tell you as well. But, yes, aside from his giant coat, I don't know, it gave me like a warm feeling.
It's also really... How do I describe this? It's really well colored for its release, if that makes sense. No. In the Northern Hemisphere. Because it's like autumny, wintry.
Well, it's probably like winter now because it's nearly Christmas and it's usually snowing.
Yeah, but didn't this release in November? Like on that side of the world?
I guess. I can't remember now. I think it maybe whatever the case is, irrelevant.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Sure.
The production design was incredible, especially when they're depicting a dream.
Yeah.
Like, you don't... Like, obviously this is set in the real world.
Yeah.
So you don't think there's a lot of space for them to do interesting things with the design.
Yeah.
But, yeah, in the dreams, it's very arresting. Right, yes.
I was reading a review that was like... I really like the way that they've separated it so that you don't know. Well, not separated it. The opposite of separated it, where they basically said you don't know when it's a dream and when it's real life.
Yes, I felt that as well.
I thought it was quite obvious.
Mm.
Maybe it's just me, but like specifically the way he acts
Mm.
between real life and dreams. There's like a huge juxtaposition between them.
I can't remember right now, but there's one where, okay, when he was going into the auditorium
Yeah,
and he, like, that lady hurts her hand,
yeah.
I thought that was a dream.
Oh,
That's the one time I can really think of that really got me. A few times also got me, but that's the one where I'm like, yo, I swore that was a dream.
yeah.
And it was real. But yes, it didn't work for you. You were
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, like specifically with that auditorium scene,
Mhm.
I think he would have, he wouldn't have been as, I guess, panicked or sympathetic if it was a dream.
Why is that?
Because it seems like in the dreams he's very like,
No, but that's not him.
yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying like the way he acts, he's very like cold, I guess. He kind of
But
reminds
do
me.
you remember his dream where he's being hunted by himself?
Yes.
I would assume he'll be playing himself. He wouldn't be playing the person
Hmm.
hunting him,
Yeah.
which is what you're putting forward.
Yeah, I see.
That's
I see what you're saying.
that there's one version of him that's actually representing him. There's another version that, people see in their dreams that's not him.
Yeah.
So I believe if that was a dream sequence, which it turned out not to be,
Yeah.
that acting
Yeah.
was acting as if though he's himself, which is why it worked for me.
Oh, like a dream for him. Like his dream
Yes,
instead.
it could have been his dream.
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Hmm.
I see it, yeah.
But again, it's fine to disagree.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of anything else that just general thoughts. I didn't think the Dylan Baker character was important. Do you know who that is?
Dylan Baker.
He's the professor.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, he has these dinners that guy never gets invited to.
Yeah.
I guess it's to show that he's kind of like, well, his wife emasculates him and he's disrespected at work.
Yeah.
That kind of tells you about his character. But I thought that whole plot could have just been cut out.
Mm.
Like, it's 10 minutes of kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
It's I guess, very early on,
Yeah.
when that guy phones in and tells him that, that's how everyone, found out.
Yeah.
I think that's fine, and then we never see them again.
Yeah.
But when they get invited to have dinner with them, I thought that was so unnecessary. It was obviously just to show that people are revolted.
Yeah.
But they did that in other ways with his students,
Yeah.
being upset. I didn't really need that.
They didn't need to have him there.
Yeah, that professor. I think
Yeah.
they had Dylan Baker and they were like, we need to make use of him. Do you know who he is?
No.
He plays Kurt Connors in Spider-Man 3.
Oh.
He's Kurt Connors is the lizard,
Yeah.
but he never becomes the lizard in Spider-Man 3. He's
Oh,
just kind
he's
of
just-
like a hint for a future movie. Like one day he may become
Yeah.
the lizard. Yeah.
Huh.
So yes, I thought that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Which dream did you think was the best?
Which dream did I think?
Or
was
which
the
one did you like the most?
best?
Let's just discuss the dreams if you...
Oh, actually, you know which dream I did think wasn't a dream?
Mm.
The one where his, like where he goes to visit his student, and she's like, I'm kind of in the middle of something. He's like, please, can I just come in? We need to sit down for this.
Yeah.
That was the only one I was like, oh, yeah, okay, he's probably going to go ask her, I don't know, about dreams or something.
I thought that one was a dream. Because it's like, this... He's never acted like that.
Mm.
Do you remember what I said about there's him, a representation of him,
Yeah.
and then there's the person that looks like him.
Yeah.
The way that person was acting, I thought he was acting like, the person that people see.
Yeah.
So at that one I knew was a dream because you know, he doesn't intentionally make people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Him, that person at the door that's like, I need to come in.
Yeah.
That was very, especially if his student said, I'd prefer to come outside.
Yeah.
That, generally people will be like, all right, yes, I just want to speak to you.
Yeah.
That's sitting down, whatever is irrelevant. So that one I knew was a dream. But
Okay.
it was very terrifying.
Yeah.
He's like, you are so stupid. Wow, that's hurtful, first of all. That's maybe the scariest part of that dream. The one where, I think it's the first dream we see.
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite. It kind of seems like I haven't seen this movie. When like somebody, hey, what was your favorite of the dreams? And I'm like, the first one. Because you don't want to say like the fifth one, because it's like, but there were only 4 in the movie. So you can only kind of be sure that there's one. So you're like, yeah, the first one. But yes, I really love the first one where there's like a man covered in blood and he's chasing that guy.
Yeah.
And then Nicolas Cage is just walking around. Actually, that's not the first one. We see his daughter. I think the movie opens with his daughter.
His daughter's dream is first.
Yes, but I'm speaking about the college situation. That was the first dream they showed in the college, I believe.
Because I think it's his daughter, that lady with like her friend got hit by a car.
Yes.
And then it's the...
Yes. But again, like I was saying, in that college room, he was the first one. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
The Dylan Jalula one.
Yeah.
Was that... So now that one confused me.
Okay.
At that point... So, okay, I have a theory. Not a theory. I think it's quite clear what this movie is, right?
Right.
Or how the mechanics of it.
Okay.
But that part doesn't like... So up until that, he was just observing people.
Yes.
But during the time where he was just observing, she was having a sex dream.
Yes.
Either a rape dream or a sex dream. It's unclear to me.
The thing is that because it's a dream, I want to say it's a sex dream. Because of how she responds. But in real life, it seems more like rape. Does that make sense?
People have rape dreams.
Yeah, but in that specific scenario, it seems like she consents to it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, cool. Good chat.
What other dreams did he have? Well, in ones that were interesting. The one where he chases him down with the crossbow.
Yeah.
You don't realize that it's... So that's another one I had no idea was a dream.
Oh, until you...
Yes,
right,
because people have been treating him very poorly. They're having very negative reactions.
Yeah.
So a person shooting him...
Yeah.
It's kind of still outrageous, but it's not that outrageous, right?
Yeah.
And there's just a man chasing him. And then when we find out, oh, it's actually him that's chasing him.
Yeah.
That was, one where I had no idea it was a dream until that reveal.
Yeah. For me, it was like, it was too quiet. Like, the neighborhood was empty. And the streets were empty. I was like, oh, this is probably a dream.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But when was, like, except for when he was at the university, when were there, like, lots of people? Because, like, the suburbs were, like, very quiet, even in real.
Yeah. That is a good point. I didn't pick up on it.
Alright, so I can't really think of any other general thoughts. So can we get into my 3 levels theory?
Your levels, yes.
So, level 1. The obvious one is that this is a sci-fi movie about a man who appears in people's dreams.
Yes.
So, do you know what the collective unconscious is?
Vaguely, I think.
What is it?
It's like, basically kind of everyone, I don't want to say shares thoughts, but it's kind of, they're like interlinked in some way.
Alright. So it's a term introduced by psychiatrist Carl Jung to represent a form of the unconscious, that part of the mind containing memories and impulses of which the individual is not aware.
Okay.
Common to mankind as a whole and originating in the inherited structure of the brain. It is distinct from the personal unconscious, which arises from the experience of the individual. According to Jung, the collective unconscious contains archetypes or universal primordial images and ideas. Okay? So
Yeah.
let's just be clear here. The idea of a collective unconscious is just a theory.
Right.
It's not proven to be true.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who dispute it,
Yeah.
including me.
Okay.
Because I just believe that, that's just the human condition.
Mm.
A lot of people grow up in similar environments. That's why, across the world.
Yeah.
If you live in an urban area across the world, if you live in a rural area across the world, certain ideas keep popping up just because we're humans.
Yeah.
And the human condition, reacts in certain ways to certain things.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't believe that there's some sci-fi or hidden thing that's connecting people. I just believe that that's our innate response. In the same way, an animal.
Yeah.
An animal is not thinking about mating and all the things they do. It's just their ingrained kind of thoughts.
It just happens.
Yes, that's their instinct.
Yeah.
I believe similarly humans have just an instinct, which I guess is similar to what he's saying. I'm just saying it doesn't happen in the brain.
Mm.
I just think it's your body just responds.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, near the end of the movie, within the universe of the movie, they confirm this idea to be true.
Yeah.
When they develop the technology to visit each other's dreams.
Yeah.
And a very nice little cameo by Nicholas Braun.
Mm.
He's the CEO of the...
of the company.
So
the
he plays
train company.
Cousin Greg on Succession.
Oh.
He's the guy who's they were talking about the Greek gods. And
Yeah.
he's I'm not familiar with that IP. One of my favorite lines from Succession. So anyway, I believe this is very clear. I don't think this is a theory.
Okay.
But I'm going to present it like a theory because I don't know. I don't know why. So
Just 'cause.
Nicolas Cage accidentally tapped into this network without the use of technology. So he popped up in people's dreams. Right?
Yeah. That's
That's very clear, I think.
Yeah, I would say it's very clear as well because that
They
company
explain
then-
that there's a network
Yeah.
that connects people. So clearly he did something that accidentally popped up.
Yeah.
Right? But when he goes through turmoil in his life,
Yes.
specifically Coming Too Quickly with Dylan Jalula, he came and then farted. Again, one of the funniest fucking... This is such a great comedy. It's amazing. See, when he so they established a base level of humiliation,
Yeah.
right? Like I said, with his professor that treats him poorly.
Yeah.
That's oh, is this one of those famous dinners?
Mm.
And he's no. So, like I said, his wife constantly undermines him.
Yeah.
His children don't like him.
Mm.
I think his students don't really respect him.
Yeah.
It's so they establish a base level.
Yeah.
And then I think him coming too quickly while farting was just the breaking point, right? Because after that moment, that's when things turn violent in people's dreams.
I was actually going to ask about that. Why did he become violent? But that makes sense.
I think the turmoil in his life
Mm.
gets projected into his,
Into
the
dreams.
network.
Yeah.
And that's why that representation of him in people's dreams becomes violent because of the turmoil in his life.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Later, when he... I don't know what happens, but he must have overcome whatever was causing that.
Yeah.
Right? And that's... He loses access to the collective unconscious again.
Yeah.
Which is why people don't see him in their dreams anymore.
Okay. Makes sense.
By the way, Jordan Peterson is a Jungian follower. I just thought I'd mention that. He's always talking about that shit.
Noted.
Anyway, level 2.
Okay.
This is a parable for fame or notoriety. Fucking hell. It's easy to write down, but when you're saying it out loud,
Notoriety.
notoriety. This is a parable for fame or notoriety, and what it's like to go viral.
Yeah.
So Dylan Jalula is supremely horny for him.
Yes.
He gets offered brand deals due to what made him famous, not what he finds important.
Mm.
I like to draw a parallel here with actors. For example, Chris Evans was complaining one time that people only go to see his Captain America movies, not the movies that are personal to him.
Hey.
Right?
I watched the Grey Man.
Oh fuck! Yeah, he was talking about I wanted to say train spotting. No, the Bong Joon-ho movie about the train.
The Man on the Train.
Fucking hell, bro. I'll think about it. I'll probably just do it in cleanup next week.
Yeah.
But this goes for any artist.
Yes.
And, well, this goes for any human. Well, I guess writing is an art, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to be known for writing about ants.
Yes.
But people only want to know him for what made him famous, which is Poppy Up in Dreams.
Yeah.
So...
And Sprite, apparently. They want to know him for Sprite.
yeah, they're trying. They're trying to commodify his... some weird sci-fi thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you see that at all?
Yeah. I can. Well, now that you've mentioned it. Like, I didn't see it at the time, but I understand it now.
Literally, there's a guy who comes up to you and says, "What's it like to go viral?" That's...
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was also very clear. Right. Also, there's another thing where Michael Cera calls him the most interesting person in the world right now.
Yeah.
Which is another thing, like people blow smoke up celebrities' asses and say stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, just to, I guess, make them feel better.
Yeah.
Well, they might be very interesting.
Yeah.
But the most interesting person in the world. Let's get serious, fella. Right.
That's definitely me.
Damn you, Jimmy Fallon. Don't you realize that he's right here? He's the host. Okay, the third level is this is a culture war movie.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage explicitly says, I don't want to be a culture war person. But I think this movie is anti-left-wing.
Okay.
That doesn't make it right-wing.
Just makes it anti-left-wing.
I don't want to say anti-left-wing. It's anti-Gen Z. That's what it's more like, right?
Right, I see.
It's criticizing influences, which, you know, there's right-wing influences as well. That's why I'm saying it's not really left or right-wing, right?
Right.
But, so there's a bunch of things I can point to, like where, bless you.
Thank you.
As a metaphor for the culture war,
yes,
him turning violent and people responding poorly to him,
yeah,
that's a metaphor for cancel culture. He got cancelled.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's level 3 now. Did I mention that?
Yes.
It's not the same as
Yeah.
level 2. He says stuff like, everybody has trauma these days, it's a fad or something like that. He says something to that effect.
Yeah.
That's a thing people say about kids on college campuses.
Yeah.
And these kids on college campuses are often said to be left-wingers.
Left-wingers.
Yes.
Yes. Left-wingers.
But I don't know, because to the American and the American teenager, left-wing means being pro-gay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean like I'm against capitalism.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So they may be pro-capitalism.
Yes.
So they're not a left-wing student. They're just being perceived as a left-winger. So that's why I'm saying it's not anti-left-wing, it's anti-Gen Z.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Or just people in college.
Yeah.
American college students.
Right.
He says something like, everybody has trauma these days, it's like a fad. Which is something the right wing says about
kids.
Yes, kids in colleges.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else. But yes, so that line where he says, oh, that's a very funny line. where they're like, Michael Cera says something about, you can go on the right-wing circuit and talk about how you've been cancelled.
Yeah.
Right? You know, you could rebrand yourself as a Jordan Peterson type.
Yeah.
Who's literally called out in this movie, which is why I said, remind
Something
me,
about Jordan Peterson.
he's a Jungian.
Yes.
That's why I was
He is a union.
a Jungian,
A Jungian?
a follower of Carl Jung.
Oh.
You
Oh.
jackass! I mentioned this earlier.
I thought you were talking about, like, unions.
No. Do you not remember earlier we were talking about the collective unconscious?
Carl Jung.
Yes.
Yes.
And I said, Jordan Peterson is a Jungian.
To me, it just sounds like union.
Why would he be a union?
I don't know.
And he's a right-winger, he's anti-union.
I don't know.
He's a follower of Carl Jung. He's a Jungian.
Right, I see. Yes.
It's the same as saying somebody's a Marxist, a follower of Karl Marx.
Yes.
It's just a different, suffix.
Wait, yeah.
Right?
Prefix.
A prefix is in the front.
Yeah.
Marxist. The ist is the add-on. Right?
Yes.
A Jung-ian. The ian is an add-on. Both are at the end.
Yes.
So it's a suffix. A postfix.
A postfix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then...
Oh my god. Listen, I'm going to stop you right there. We're not arguing about English bullshit. Let's move on.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, yes.
There's lots of things of him saying stuff like and he's a college professor.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And, okay, so Michael Cera says you can do the circuit of how you were cancelled.
Yeah.
And, and he says, I don't want to be Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
So I think that's the movie saying, hey, I'm not a right-winger.
Okay.
But I do have criticisms of Gen Z.
Okay.
Which is, people perceive to be left-wing.
Yeah.
So he's saying, hey, I'm not right-wing, I'm just anti-Gen Z.
Okay.
That's what I think that portion of the movie was.
Right,
And he said, and I love that next line where he's like, well, you may not like this, but we got Tucker Carlson booked. Or, something like, we might book you on Tucker Carlson. That was a terrific line. I couldn't believe that. I don't want to say the last thing, it's just, I didn't write, can you see, if you look at my notes, I wrote so much for level 1, a little bit for level 2, and nothing for level 3. So that's why I'm struggling to remember stuff.
Right.
Do you know what the November surprise is?
The November surprise?
I can't remember if it's the October surprise or November surprise, but yeah.
No.
So it's a thing in US politics.
Okay.
The election happens in November.
Right.
Is it November or December?
I think November.
I think December.
As far as I can recall, well, in 2016, I remember still being at school during the...
Does your school not go into December?
We ended on in the first week of December.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying it could be. I
No.
think it might be like the 6th of December. Whatever the case is, not important.
It's fine, we'll figure it out.
It's,
Later.
in that period,
Yes.
something big will drop
Okay.
against one of the candidates.
Alright.
So sometimes, the other party will hold on to something big
Yeah.
to release in November, just before the election,
Yeah.
to kind of sway people's minds.
Okay.
The 2016 November surprise was, there's a video of Trump on a bus with Billy Bush, and he says, folks, they let you grab him by the pussy. They just let you do it when you're famous. Right?
Yes.
Nicolas Cage grabs Dylan Jalula by the pussy.
Yes.
And she lets him do it.
Yeah.
So he's a... that's what I'm saying, right? But that kind of falls into level 2 with him being famous.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, sorry. Casting Nicolas Cage is also like... You know, because he's a famous guy. That being said, it would work for any any famous person. But I believe not specifically, Nicolas Cage is one of the people that this could apply to, because his career, like, when he came out the bat, he was very well received. Then suddenly things turned, like on a dime. He was viewed very negatively. So that's why I think this movie kind of follows his career somewhat. That's why he was a good choice in a meta sense to play the character.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But again, this could apply to a lot of celebrities. I was just thinking it also applies to Nicolas Cage. Therefore, he was a good choice in a meta sense. Not, you should choose the person based on acting ability. But I think they chose both on acting ability and in the meta sense.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to remember what other culture war stuff happens. Can you remember anything?
Culture war. Not that I can. Not really. Well, there's the little bit where he's in a dream.
Yeah.
And then the influencers come in, and they're like advertising this.
Yes, I get, but that's not really Gen Z, because influencers are like at any age, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just more general criticism of capitalism and commodifying dreams.
Yeah.
But it's not really the main focus of the movie. It's just like, I think there's like too many ideas packed into this movie.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah.
But, that's why I separate it into 3 levels. But I believe there could be more that I'm unfortunately, we only watched this yesterday.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time to like really think about it.
Yeah.
More than I had. Anyway, can we move on? Oh, do you have any other things you want to say?
Is there not a thread, but like a plot point of making fun of the French? Where it's like, they really love the nightmares over there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're just perverts. I love that as well. And again, this guy's from Norway, so you probably know, I don't know why I'm being like this, but all Europeans know each other. So it's like he probably knows the French well. They suppose. Yeah.
The French are very well known for being very strange.
Well,
in
we
Europe.
mentioned this, like the French are either having sex or they're
Sitting in a cafe smoking.
No, man. Or they're asleep, which is a euphemism for sex. Meaning they're very perverted.
Yes.
So they would love
Nicolas Cage sex dreams.
yeah. That's why they love it. He's like a voyeur.
Yep.
Anyway, anything else before we get to the rating?
Just the final thing.
Yes.
They had a Talking Heads song playing in the credits.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot something I need to...
Okay.
So, you know when we said when it flips,
Yes.
when things become violent?
Yeah.
He plays the Eyes Wide Shut thing on the piano.
Yes.
That was crazy. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. When it happened, I'm like, oh my god, is he Eyes Wide Shutting us? And Eyes Wide Shut is a movie that has a lot to do with dream logic. It's unclear whether Tom Cruise is asleep or awake and he's just dreaming this.
Yeah.
So yeah, a movie about dreams would reference that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, you were talking about the Talking Heads before I got...
Yeah,
just reminded me of that, and I had to interject. I love Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
My favorite Kubrick movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's just like a nice little detail because he's in the Talking Head suit, and he saves
His wife. Yes.
Is yeah, is she? Well, yeah, they're separated,
They
but
could
she's
get a
still his
divorce.
wife. Yeah,
The state sees them as a union. So
yeah. But yeah,
I said union,
yes.
as in two people married.
Not a follower of Carl Jung.
No, I don't.
Damn,
Yeah.
I really thought I got
Yes.
it that time.
I had to make sure.
But
So,
yeah.
rating?
I gave it a 9. It's a very solid 9,
Yes.
maybe a 10.
I'm literally the same. I have it as a 9, but as I'm speaking through it, I'm trying to think what I didn't like, so I can dock in a point.
Right.
Maybe I didn't like his giant coat. It's not very fashionable.
I see. Yes.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 10.
Okay.
Fuck it, I'm giving it a 10. Sorry if it offends.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry if it offends Gen Z. They're crying, oh my god, this movie, it made me sad. Guess what? Fuck you, pal. I give it a 10.
Fair enough.
Recommendations. Do you want to start?
Yep, sure, I can. I have been on a Sandman binge this past week.
Okay.
I don't know why.
That's great.
Yeah, it's just, I decided to do it, so I did.
Well, and I'm glad that you're not just watching the same shit. That rewatching. You're actually going out and doing new things.
Yeah.
Well, that's not doing new things, watching new things.
Yeah. So, I watched the first Grown Ups movie,
Good God.
but there's a reason for that. It's because...
Salma Hayek, I agree. Yes. What?
No, it's, every time we go to our cousins, not these cousins.
Yes, I know.
Right, just making sure.
Explain to the audience. It's not our cousins. It's our mother's cousin.
Yes.
It's children.
Yes. Well, I just find it's easier to call them our cousins than our mother's cousins' children.
Okay.
But yeah.
Tell the story, goddammit.
Anyway, usually we every single time we go there, that night we plan on watching a horror movie. Right?
And then you watch Grown Ups.
Damn it, you ruined the story.
And oh my god, you're the Grown Ups.
We are now the Grown Ups,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Wow. Except that you're all kids. But okay. The Grown Ups.
Shh. Yeah, so, because we stayed there for 2 nights, we watched
Grown Ups twice.
Yeah, no, man. We watched God damn it. We watched both the Grown Ups movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about Grown Ups 1.5? The in-between quote.
Unfortunately, we did not have time to watch Grown Ups 1.5. But then,
It's where Timon and Pumbaa show up. Don't you know of Lion King 1.5? That's what I'm doing here. You idiot. Carry on.
So then anyway, after that, I got home and I decided, damn, I really like Adam Sandler.
Whoa, the Sandman.
Yeah. So then...
So you watched 2 Sandman. Properties. Fair enough.
I watched Click with, what's his... Christopher Walken.
Hey, I'm Christopher Walken, and hey, I'm walking over here. I don't run. I walk.
That is also, I think, the first movie I've watched with Christopher Walken in it.
What? How on earth? What about True Romance?
No.
Oh, okay. That was a joke. I know you. There's no way you would have watched True Romance. What about Pulp Fiction?
No. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else is there. But, yeah, carry on.
And the only reason I recognized him...
Batman Returns.
No.
He's Max Shrek. Okay.
No. Yeah.
Just carry on. You always take a pause.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think about other things.
It's like you're moving in slow motion.
Because I am.
If I could have had the click remote to speed you up. Yes.
But yeah, the only reason I recognized him was because of all the impressions that everyone does of him
Oh, like I just did.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Balls of Fury.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a guy. It's a table tennis movie, and he's the villain.
No, I haven't
Okay.
watched that. I should watch that for next week.
Yes.
But yeah, and then I also started Rick and Morty.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and that originally I didn't get into it because I was like, it's not for me.
Mm.
And then
I need to get that meme.
which meme?
There's a great meme. Oh, listen, clean up next week. You're in for a treat.
Okay, cool. Sounds like a plan.
Mm. It's not it's a copy pasta. You know what that is?
Yes.
It's like, okay, Karen.
Yeah. So far, really enjoying it. I think I'm like halfway through season 1 now. And yeah, okay.
I didn't say anything.
But you laughed.
You're like, oh, I'm watching Rick and Morty. I'm like, okay, season 6. Oh no, I'm halfway through season 1. Those episodes are short as well.
Yeah, it's like 20-minute episodes, which is very, very nice because it's just like if my friends.
They pack in so many jokes in those.
Yeah, it's actually wild how dense the episodes are. But yeah, it's a lot of fun right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it for my recommendations for this week.
So let's get into it. Number one, I watched A Kind of Murder.
Okay.
It's a period drama set in the 1950s where a man's wife goes missing and he becomes the main suspect.
Oh.
The production design is phenomenal.
Okay. Nice.
The outfits, the interior design, the cars, they all look outstanding.
Right.
Well, do you watch movies from the 50s?
No, not really.
Okay, well, there's a lot of Alfred Hitchcock movies where, like, you see it and, like, all the clothing look precisely like it.
Oh.
It's, that's why I'm saying it looked. But now, obviously, the footage is a little bit grainy from those days.
Yeah.
And this is in crystal clear.
Oh.
So, yes, I loved Patrick Wilson,
Yeah.
The Fits.
Wait, so when was this released?
Like 2012.
Oh, okay. Okay, makes sense.
Why?
Just checking.
Oh, because Aquaman is now. You're thinking like it's a new movie. No. Yes. However, the plot and pacing let the movie down.
Okay.
It ends quite abruptly without resolving a major piece of conflict. I gave it a 7 because how beautiful it was, but it probably deserves a 6.
That's fine. 7's a 7.
Fuck you, man. I'll give whatever rating I want. You're not the, I don't know, ratings chairman.
The chairman of ratings.
Yes. So you can say, hey, you, that's too high, that's too low. You know what? Fuck you. And if you are the ratings chairman, I refuse to participate in your organization. You know what? I'm handing in my card and my badge. This is my last day on the force. And I was 10 days from retirement. And I was so close. The next thing I watched was I, Tonya.
Okay.
Which is a loose biographical comedy about the Tonya Harding-Nancy Kerrigan incident. Do you know what that is?
No.
Alright, well, I knew about this from, like, rap songs.
Oh.
Where somebody would be like, I'm gonna Nancy Kerrigan somebody. Okay? Tonya Harding's husband and a small crew of idiots injured Nancy Kerrigan so she couldn't compete at the 1994 Olympics, thereby giving Tonya a better chance at winning the figure skating event.
A small crew of idiots.
Yes, truly, if you watch that movie, you realize like how fucking stupid everyone is that was involved with that. Right. It's a truly outstanding movie, and Alison Janney won Best Supporting Actress for good reason.
Okay.
I gave the movie a 9.
Nice.
Outstanding movie. I think Margot Robbie was also nominated for Best Actress, but she didn't win.
So she plays Tonya Harding, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about figure skating.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Right. That came out in like 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. The next movie I watched was called Margin Call.
Mm.
It's a thriller about an unnamed financial company over a 24-hour period, just as the news of the global financial crisis gets out.
Okay.
And like how they respond to it.
Right.
It's very well acted. It's an ensemble cast. Like, let me just... Jeremy Irons, Kevin Spacey. Ooh, not good.
Yeah.
guy you love because
goodness.
he's a rapist. You love that about it.
Oh God. Oh no.
Zachary Quinto just coming out of Star Trek.
Mm.
Penn Badgley. I think he was still on Gossip Girl at the time.
Mm.
Paul, what's his name? The Vision.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know his name.
He's from Solo. He's the bad guy in Solo. Paul. He's married to Jennifer Connelly. Fuck's sakes. Paul. Yeah, but anyway, very well acted and well written. I gave it a 9.
Okay.
So I've been on like a roll of like very good movies this week.
Yeah.
The next movie I watched was State of Play.
Right.
It's a political thriller about the privatization of the American military
Okay.
in the wake of 9/11.
Right.
This is the good version of the Ides of March, which I spoke about last week.
Mm.
I know you weren't here and you didn't listen to the episode.
You can't prove that.
You don't know what the Ides of March is about.
That is also.
What is it about?
I just said that is true.
I thought you would lie. You can't even. You've been caught so thoroughly, you couldn't even think of a lie.
Already admitted to it.
Yeah. I've admitted to lying and then double down on the lie immediately after when that didn't stick. Sometimes you have to give up the lie to go on to a bigger lie. You know? That's how lying works. Well, certain strategies of lying.
Right, I see. Yes.
Anyway, it follows a journalist uncovering a plot by a senator and maintains tension for the entire runtime.
Okay.
It reminded me of a Pakula movie.
Mm.
Do you know who Pakula is?
No.
I've mentioned him several times on this podcast. I love him a lot as a director. He made Clute.
Oh, right, yes.
Clute! He's the detective John Clute.
Yeah.
The Parallax View.
Okay.
And All the President's Men.
Right.
He made, in the 60s and 70s, the 60s and 70s, he made political thrillers.
Mm.
In a time where there were a lot of political assassinations.
Yeah.
JFK, MLK, RFK.
All the Ks.
Who's the guy? Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Who was a patsy. But, I gave it a 9.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. It's been a very good week.
Mm.
Then, Rick and Morty Season 7 ended this week.
Yes.
I think that this is the best season of Rick and Morty in a long while.
Okay.
But I've seen quite a few people online call it mid.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Okay.
I had a ball with the season.
Okay.
And I think this final episode is a masterpiece.
Okay.
One of the best episodes ever.
Right.
Yeah. I have it as the TV show as a whole as a 9. But there's a few like 4, 5, and 6 are not as good.
Okay.
So it brings down the rating, but the first couple and this one have been, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next thing is Archer ended for real.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago. I was like, hey, the TV show Archer ended, but they released a 3-episode capper.
Yeah.
That kind of like
ties everything up.
Yeah. I think they didn't know that this would be the final season.
Yeah.
So they gave them extra time to,
to finish it up.
Yes, to give that 3 episodes where they can give them a proper send off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tie up all the loose ends and
yeah. So I watched that. That was cool.
Okay.
Jack Reacher season 2. It came out last week, but I only got to it this week.
Okay.
They released the first 3 episodes, and then it's going to be week by week from now on.
Right.
It's an Amazon show. It's about the titular character.
Jack Reacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in the movies, Tom Cruise plays him, but he's like, Tom Cruise is a short guy.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
But the guy that plays him in the TV show, Alan Richardson.
Yeah.
He's you may know him from Fast X.
Yeah.
He's the. I don't want to spoil Fast X, but he's the guy in Fast X. He's fucking huge, dude. Yep. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh my god, this guy is. His arms are like boulders. Fucking, it's outrageous. Anyway, it's a very right wing show, but yes, it has good action.
Okay.
and I find it fun. Like Ben Shapiro wrote a book.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's very similar to Jack Reacher.
Oh.
But Jack Reacher
no.
doesn't like go into like homophobia in the same way, Ben Shapiro's does.
Right.
Finally, I watched a movie called Leave the World Behind. It's a Netflix movie.
Okay.
You may want to watch it. It's a new Sam Esmail movie. Do you know what that is?
No.
He's one of my guys.
Okay.
Do you know Mark Maron?
Maybe.
He's a podcast host of a podcast I've never listened to. But it's a very popular podcast, so I've heard this phrase. Like, whenever he's interviewing someone, he says, "So who are your guys?"
Oh,
right?
Right.
So I think to myself, okay, who are my guys? Obviously, George Lucas, James
Really?
Cameron.
Really?
But Sam Esmail is also one of my guys.
Okay.
One of my big guys. He's like a top 5 guy.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
He made Mr. Robot. One of my favorite TV shows.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Like
yes.
my number 2 favorite TV show.
Yeah.
It was number 1 for a very long time until last year when I watched Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
So he made a movie.
Okay.
I'm not saying reminded, but it's also very similar to another movie that came out a few weeks ago called, I think it's called Old Dads.
Oh, yeah,
Or
yeah.
something. It's
yeah.
a Bill Burr movie.
Yeah.
That movie felt very episodic.
Yeah.
Where, like, I swear Netflix wanted to make a TV show.
Yeah.
And then maybe, like, because of the writer and actor strike, they, like, recut it into a movie.
Yeah.
Similarly, I feel like this was meant to be a, like, 5-episode little miniseries.
Like a miniseries, yeah.
But they recut it into a 2.5-hour movie.
Okay.
I think it was Brian De Palma.
Mm.
He said he didn't go to film school.
Okay.
He just learned everything he needed from Alfred Hitchcock movies.
Yeah.
I think Sam Esmail is like his own film school. You can just watch his, like, again, we're talking about how Ari Aster shoots.
Yeah.
Watch his frame composition.
Okay.
Watch every every single thing. Watch it.
Watch it all.
Yes. This movie is a hard 10.
Okay.
It's in the debate about my favorite movie of the year.
Okay.
It's between this and Oppenheimer.
Right.
That's where I'm at.
Okay.
Bo is Afraid and Killers of the Flower Moon, I gave them both 10s, but there's a range of 10s.
Right, yeah.
I've explained this concept before.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Oppenheimer and Leave the World Behind are my 2 of the movie.
Yeah.
This was produced by Theo Bungler,
Okay.
so it's a political movie, a political thriller.
Right.
Well, it's difficult to explain without spoiling.
Okay.
So I don't want to talk too much about it. First of all, just watch it. Just
Okay.
watch it because it's a Sam Esmail movie before anything else.
Okay.
Right?
Right. Cool.
But it's so well shot, so well acted, so well written. It's outstanding.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But yes, a lot of people are reading into the politics of it
Yeah.
because Obama produced it.
Oh.
And in the
Oh.
interview, why did you laugh? When I you don't know who Theo Bungler was. He bungled so many things during his presidency, bro. How do you not know him as the Bungler?
Because I know him as Obama.
But anyway, he gave an interview. Sam Esmail gave an interview where he said, like, he ran the script past Obama,
Yeah.
and he said, like, a lot of these things are true.
Right.
Well, right, it was very close to being true.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
yes, let's be clear. I don't like him,
Okay.
Obama, not Sam
Yes.
Esmail. I have a friend who loves Obama
Right.
because every year he releases like a music list,
Yeah.
which I don't believe to be true. I
Okay.
believe like an intern
Yeah,
that works for
probably.
me, that works for him, like releases their list.
Yeah.
And Obama is just like, oh, this is my list.
Yeah.
I have no evidence that's the case, but
Usually
What-
that's how it works.
whatever. So my friend loves him and thinks he's so cool, but I think of him as a war criminal. So
Okay.
every
Fair
time
enough.
he's talking about how cool Obama is, I just want to burst in and be like, hey, fuck that guy. But, I try not to be a Debbie Downer. He's not praising him for being a war criminal. He's praising him for music. So
it's fair enough.
Yeah. But yes, watch the movie. Hard 10.
Okay.
Do you have anything else to say?
No.
Alright, so thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, give a like, etc. Importantly, it needs to be a 5-star review.
Has to be.
Please subscribe on Patreon to listen to our movie commentaries. You can find all our links at PAICIP.com. Please tell a friend, tell that friend to tell a friend, tell a family member.
Tell everyone.
And, yeah, goodbye.
Cheerio.